Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone. I am Abrar Hussain, PhD Research Scholar at International Center for Microbiological Sciences, University of Karachi, Pakistan. Today I'm presenting my abstract entitled The Role of Probiotics in Disease Treatments. So very brief about my presentation contents about the introduction of probiotics, the probiotics as medicine, and how probiotics help in the disease treatment. The mechanism of probiotics action, and what are the diseases which are treated with probiotics with the help of probiotics. So this is the my accepted abstract for this conference. So let's start very brief about the field of probiotics, which is currently considered a very emerging field and science. The concept was first introduced by Russian Nobel laureate scientist Elie Koff in 1907 and proposed that if we can replace the unhealthy bacteria in the gut microbiota can replace by the healthy bacteria, especially from the lactic acid producing bacteria, they can increase the lifespan of the host. And the proper definition of this term was coined by Lilly and Stilwell in 1965 that probiotics are the live microorganism which are secreted and have the capacity to alter the host microbiota, modulate the immune system, and can enhance the intestinal function. But properly, the field of probiotics was identified and defined by the World Health Organization in 2001 that these are the live microorganisms which, when administered in adequate amounts, confer the health benefits on the host. This definition was a little bit changed by the uh, uh, organization called International Scientific Association for Probiotics and Prebiotics in 2013 and consider the probiotics as live microorganism that when administered in adequate amounts confer health benefits on the host, which is just considered a grammatically updated version of the definition proposed by World Health Organization. As we know that probiotics are live microorganisms, so a question arises, can we use every microorganism for their beneficial properties? So the answer is no. There must be some selection criteria which must be followed for the use of probiotics. For example, there must be from safe source. There must be no antibiotic resistance gene, no virulence gene. If we are talking about their functional criteria, they show resistance toward the low pH of the GIT, the high pH of the intestine. They can also tolerate the enzymes in the GIT. If we are interested to use probiotics in some biotechnological process in various industries, so they have the product the capacity to produce in large amount. They have the capacity to tolerate the condition, temperature, especially the heat during the processing, etc. So these are the some very basic criteria, selection criteria which are used for probiotics microorganism. And these are some few questions which must be addressed for a strain to be used as probiotics. For example, the probiotic strain must be strain level identified. There must be no virulence gene, no antibiotic resistant gene, etc. Now, if we identified a probiotics microorganism, so what will be the benefits of probiotics? So the probiotics microorganism have a vast majority of benefits. They may have some rare effect, may have some frequent effect, and they can also have some widespread effect. For example, from their neurological action to they can use for example production to they can also use to produce vitamin, for example, enzymes. They also have the modulatory effect on the IgA and IgG immune cells. They can also change the T and B cells. They can also protect the intestinal and the host gut, especially from the pathogenic microorganisms and from other toxic substances. So this slide just briefly overview about the health benefits which are associated with probiotics. So among them, one of the recently identified and one of the frequently studied health benefit of probiotics is their potential to treat diseases. So very easily, it is documented that probiotics are mostly consumed as a functional food. It is instead of their use as a medicine. So because there is no recommendation from the FDA or no recommendation from the EFSA that the marketed available probiotics mostly rejected because of their less insufficient data. For example, the insufficient data include the less hospital or the human subject in the study, or there must be some result which show contradiction in one study and they can give a result in the another study. So the result on the two studies were different. Similarly, the concept of monoprobiotics and compound probiotics also give different results. So they also can produce some kind of confusion which type of probiotics we can use. But in Japan's the FOSHU organization, which is Food for Specified Health Use, gave a specific product, probiotics products which have some health claim. They can use as a medicine, and they can also use for the treatment of diseases. So this slide just show can we use probiotics? So the answer is maybe or may not, depend on the strain level identification and their health benefits associated with this. Now, what are the importance of if you use probiotics as a probiotics for the treatment of diseases? So this is just a survey which showed that from 2000 to 2020, there are 294 meta-analyses which are focusing on the health benefits of probiotics or the benefits of probiotics for disease treatment. And very interestingly, unfortunately, that 79% of the existing data show that probiotics have positive effect on the disease treatment, and only 21% showed that probiotics have ineffectiveness in the treatment of diseases. And another shouting is that mostly probiotics, almost all of the tested probiotics have effect on the GI diseases. For example, on the right side, the chart showed that almost 47 meta-analysis articles are related to the infectious diseases. 40 are analyzed are devoted to the diarrhea treatment. So this show that overall, this slide show that probiotics have a prone disease treatment capacity, especially in the J treatment condition or the J conditions. Now, how probiotics helps in disease treatment? So as the exact mechanism is still unknown, but the proposed mechanism, for example, the probiotics have the gut microbiota restoration. They can produce some kind of metabolites and bacteriocin or enterocin, etc. They have the capacity to kill the pathogen which are causing the diseases. They can also enhance the host immunity system, which definitely cope up with the situation and can eradicate the pathogenic microorganism. And they can also have a role in the gut-brain axis of the enteric nervous system, with the help of which they can use in the treatment of neurological disorders. Now, question arises, can probiotics, we are using probiotics for the treatment of all diseases which are irrespective of their gender and age. So there is the study showed that probiotics have different effect on the ages also and also in the gender of the participant. For example, they give different result for the infants, for children, for adults, and for men and for women also. So these are some, what is the medicinal potential of probiotics? So these are just diseases which are used with the help of probiotics. For example, the gastrointestinal disease, which already described, almost half of the probiotics are devoted to the treatment of gastrointestinal diseases, respiratory diseases, mental disorders, inflammatory aging-related disease, which is one of the leading research topic currently, metabolic disorder, allergic diseases, and also they are used for the treatment of infectious diseases. So very brief about all these diseases, how probiotics can help in the treatment of gastrointestinal diseases. So it is shown that probiotics have a positive effect on the intestinal function, and they can enhance the structure of the mucous membrane, especially by the production of more mucin. They can also decrease the inflammation and restore the normal bowel movements, which can help in the treatment of intestinal or GI conditions. The various diseases which are treated with the help of probiotics include diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel syndrome, which are also considered concluded, and other types of diseases also. So this slide we can conclude that probiotics have the capacity to treat various gastrointestinal disorders. Another disorder which are treated with probiotics are respiratory diseases, and it is considered a probiotics microorganism can stimulate the respiratory immunity by improving the T regulatory cells or T regulatory responses, and they can also help in this way for the treatment or the prevention of the respiratory diseases, or they can reduce the time of respiratory diseases. Another mechanism how probiotics help in the respiratory disease, for example, they can impact the lung microbiota and exert anti-inflammatory activity in the lungs. But there's also evidence which show that lactic acid bacteria and their metabolites move from the lung from gut to the lungs and exert immunomodulatory actions, and this way they can reduce the respiratory diseases. The various kind of respiratory diseases which are treated with probiotics include the influenza, pneumonia, SARS-CoV-2, etc. In the same way, probiotics are also used for the treatment of metabolic diseases. For example, they are used for the diabetes, obesity, and hypocholesterolemia. In the same way, they are also used for the treatment of mental diseases, which is currently very much understudied. For example, they are used for the depression, anxiety, dementia, epilepsy, and Alzheimer's diseases. And very good literature and very sufficient data is currently available which support the use of probiotics for the treatment of such kind of neurodegenerative disorders. One of the allergic diseases is considered one of the leading diseases in the world, and almost more than 4 billion people are affected from allergy worldwide. And also, probiotics are devoted to use against the allergic diseases. For example, food allergy, allergic rhinitis, asthma, dermatitis, and anaphylaxis, etc. are the allergic diseases or types which are currently treated with the help of probiotics, and they also have a prone effect. How these are affected, so the mechanism is still unknown, but the proposed mechanism available, which show that probiotics have the capacity to treat the allergic diseases. So in very summary, very briefly, I'm concluding this probiotics are the live microorganism which confer the health benefits on the host, and they have a very vast majority of functional. They are used in the food industry, pharmaceutical industry, and other industries. Besides this, they have a very potential to treat various diseases. And the current literature show that almost 79% of the tested probiotics microorganism have the capacity to treat the different kind of diseases, and only 21% are show ineffectiveness against the diseases. But how this probiotics can treat these diseases, the exact mechanism is still unknown. And the different kind of diseases which are treated with the help of probiotics include GIT, respiratory, metabolic, mental, cancer, etc. are treated with probiotics. So these are just a very limited number of diseases which are shown here. Beside this, the multiple and other types of disease which are also treated with probiotics are so much, and the number is increasing day by day. These are my references and from which I taken the data. And plus, I am thankful to all of you for listening me.